I think I told you this story once, and I'm not trying to diss letter carriers, because every time I tell this story, I get letters from people who are very angry that I diss them. But I had taken the day off, and I was sitting on a front porch with a buddy of mine. This is when I was living in Cleveland. And the letter carrier came. And I said to him, I'm not a cop, I'm not a spy, you're not being recorded. But if you had to do your job the most efficiently you could, with a little time, and as little time as you could, how much time would it take you to do your whole job per day? And he was nervous, kind of looked to the left, looked to the right, and I just started laughing. I said, I assure you, this will not be reported. This is off the record. He said, if I had to do my job as quickly as possible and as productively as possible, I could do it in half the time. And I told you about this story. When I had my business, I ran a business for 14 years in Cleveland. The mailman came around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Almost like clockwork every day. Nice guy, friendly guy. And he told us he was retiring. He did. The next day, a young guy brought the mail at 10 a.m. The next day, he brought it at 10 a.m. That whole week, he brought it at 10 a.m. The following week, he brought it at 2 p.m. And I asked him, I said, last week you brought the mail at 10 a.m., now you're bringing it at 2 p.m. at the same time that your predecessor brought the mail. He said, well, they told me down at the post office I was working too quickly. JPMorgan is, of course, a privately owned bank, the largest bank in America, and its CEO is Jamie Dimon. He is a Democrat, a Hillary supporter, Obama supporter. He was being recorded, didn't know he was, and he went off on his staff on this Zoom call for working from home and talked about how inefficient it is and that he could take 100 people and reduce it by at least 10 and still get the job done. Number 6.
A lot of you were on the Zoom and you were doing the following, okay? Looking at your mail, sending texts to each other about what an asshole the other person is. Okay, not paying attention, not reading your stuff, and if you don't think that slows down efficiency, creativity, creates rudeness, and stuff, it does, okay? And when I found out that people are doing that, you don't do that in my damn meetings. You go to a meeting with me, you got my attention, you got my focus, I don't bring my damn phone, I'm not sending texts to people, okay? It simply doesn't work, and it doesn't work for creativity, it slows down decision making, and don't give me the work from home Friday works. I call a lot of people on Friday. They're not a damn person you get a hold of. But here are the problems, okay? And they are substantial, okay? Which is the young generation is being damaged by this. That means they may or may not be on your particular staff, but they are being left behind. They're being left behind socially, ideas, meeting people. In fact, my guess is most of you live in communities a hell of a lot less diverse than this room. Every area should be looking to be 10% more efficient. If I was running a department of 100 people, I guarantee you, if I wanted to, I could run it with 90 and be more efficient. I guarantee you. I could do it in my sleep. And the notion, these bureaucracies, I need more people, I can't get it done. No, because you're filling out requests that don't need to be done. Your people are going to meetings they don't need to go to. Someone told me to approve some of his wealth management that they had to go to 14 committees. I am dying to get the name of the 14 committees, and I feel like firing 14 chairmen of committees. I can't stand it anymore. Now, you have a choice. You don't have to work at JPMorgan. So the people of you who don't want to work at the company, that's fine with me. I'm not mad at you. Don't be mad at me. It's a free country. You can walk with your feet, but this company is going to set our own standards and do it our own way. And I've had it with this kind of stuff. And, I come in, I've been working 7 days a week since COVID, and I come in and where's everybody else? But they're here and there, and the Zooms don't show up, and people say they didn't get stuff. So that's not how you run a great company. We didn't build this great company by doing that, by doing the same semi-disease everybody else does.
Now, this is private sector. Can you imagine? He's angry, and it's one of the most prosperous banks in America. And he's angry that people, in his opinion, aren't working hard enough, efficiently enough. And that when you work from home on Zoom, you're not being very productive. This is the private sector where you can get fired for not being productive. It almost takes another act of Congress for you to get fired if you're a federal worker. So if he's that angry about inefficiency and fat in his company, can you imagine how much inefficiency and fat there is in the federal government? Where only 6% of the people since COVID have come back to the office to work inside the building? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And this is what Donald Trump is addressing, and the Democrats are screaming, defending this inefficiency and defending this waste. This is the position that they're in. 70% of the people say Donald Trump is doing what he promised he would do. And the majority of Americans agree with DOGE, agree with downsizing, agree with mass deportation. Majority agree with finishing the wall. And the majority agree that there's massive weight, fraud, and abuse in the federal government. And that's why I played you that excerpt from this chastising that the CEO of JPMorgan gave to his employees. You guys are working inefficiently. I assure you, I could accomplish the same with 10% fewer people. Remember Elon Musk fired almost 75% of the staff of Twitter, later on called X, and it still kept performing. Thanks for watching these clips from The Larry Elder Show. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment. More thought-provoking discussions are just a click away, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.